It's your boy, Francisco Rojas, and I'm here with my lovely friend. What's going on, Ashlee?
Hello, hello. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm feeling great. You are. Why aren't you feeling great? We can't just do good. We should be. We're
Okay,
feeling. Come
I
on.
am feeling ecstatic. I'm feeling fantastic. I am on top of the world.
Yes,
Cloud freaking nine.
that's what I thought. That's what I thought. But let's talk about our two proteges here. Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, both great games. Hurts to me, man, dictated the offense. Had the great offensive line. We all saw that Jordan Mailata hit yesterday for Jalen Reagor to get in the end zone, I believe that was. Um, I mean, in every facet, Kenneth Gainwell played really well. I felt like Hurts was really spreading the ball around. Miles Sanders didn't get 20 carries to me, but he still got 15 carries for 70 plus yards. It worked because Hurts was also mobile and he ran the ball. So it worked in every facet. I know the Falcons don't have a phenomenal defense and they're not a phenomenal team, but the Eagles did what they had to do. They won the game convincingly, Ashlee, but Jalen Hurts looked really good. Devontae Smith, 6 catches, 71 yards, 1 touchdown. It was a great game all around, man. From Hurts and Devontae, I can't even there were maybe a few times Hurts could have done something better, but Hurts threw the ball away when he needed to do it. He looked confident out there. He looked poised. Ashlee, I mean, I can't, there's not too much I can complain about. There's just not much.
I mean, yeah, this is the kind of start that you wanted from your two young players in Devontae and Jalen, especially coming off of last season where you decided to send the 5-year starter in Carson Wentz packing to Indianapolis and give Jalen the start after only starting 4 games last season. There was a lot of question marks around Jalen, to include like whether he can lead the team, his accuracy, turnovers, protecting the ball. There were a lot of questions around him, and there were fair questions because this guy only started 4 games last season in 2020, and it was a historically bad season for the Philadelphia Eagles. This win, this performance by Jalen, by Devontae, was the type of performance you needed to see to be like, okay, I think we're on the right track to keep improving for the season. I mean, you saw how he was getting passes into the chests of players. He was throwing the ball accurately, on time, very quick, going through his reads. And he really wasn't, it was more of a balance of him trusting his arm and his legs. A lot of time, especially in the past, in his college career, and even a little bit last year, you saw that he relied a lot more on his legs to get him out of situations that were a little sticky. And you still saw that. But you also saw him stay in the pocket and let the play develop, especially on long balls. And some passes didn't go through. That's okay. You're going to have some incompletions. You're going to have some mistakes. But he showed incredible poise, incredible command in the offense, going through his reads, helping that offense really move on against an Atlanta defense that may not be good, but Atlanta was still favored to beat the Philadelphia
Exactly. That's my whole
Eagles.
point. It was supposed to be a close game. Come on.
So for this team to go out there and to dominate as well as they did, that's a good sign. And I mean, of course, Devontae showed up. I mean, 6 catches, 71 yards, a touchdown in the end zone. I mean, on man coverage. I mean, shout out to Zach Ertz for selling that play. But also, Devontae had that man beat off the line, whether Zach Ertz slowed the play or not. And it was unbelievable kind of how you saw that jump step. That jab step, really be effective. And then there was also a drive where he had 4 straight catches. So he has relaxed.
Yeah, it was.
He can get separation and he can get open. That's what you wanted to see in game. That's what you wanted to see out of the first game for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, and I remember we had these questions of, well, the starters didn't really play in the preseason. How are they going to look week 1? And all of that was put to rest, all of that. And I'm so happy that that those questions were put to rest because I was skeptical. And you know what? Screw it. Does preseason really matter when you see a team play like this week 1? Does it really matter that much? Maybe not. So But Ashlee, that I mean,
it matters to the fact that we did have a lot of false start penalties.
yeah, I know, but I'm saying as far as scoring 32 points and the offense, the first team offense barely playing in the preseason.
I don't disagree on that part.
Yeah,
there were some mistakes. It was not a perfect game from the offense or the defense, but I think once they kind of got settled into the game and really adjusting themselves, it became much more of a more dominant game from the Philadelphia Eagles. But it was a great win, all around team win that really showed how the progress Jalen has made from January of this year to now. Playing that game against the Washington Redskins, you really saw the improvements that Sirianni was talking about in press conference, the poise that he had, the work that he's been putting in. I mean, he's been praising Jalen all off season about the work that he has coming in, the work ready to improve. He said in an interview recently that Jalen embodies the 5 core values that the team has for this season. And I think that's a really high compliment going into the first week. And you saw why Sirianni gave him that compliment, because everything that you kind of wanted to see him improve on, you saw that against Atlanta.
I mean, Ashlee, the completion percentage, he went from 52. I know it's just one game, but 52 in that 4-game sample size last year to 77%. He spread the ball around. Just to count it off real quickly. Devontae had 6 catches, Rager 6 catches, Goddard 4, Sanders 4, Ertz 2, Watkins 3, Gainwell 2. I mean, like, that's spreading the ball around. And then even they didn't really use Boston Scott, but Sanders 15 carries, Hurts had 7 carries, Gainwell 9 carries. I just think this offense is just, I know it's only week 1, but it's well put together. I like the play calls. None of these. This was not a Doug Peterson, led offense where we were questioning calls every other play. It seemed like this was unpredictability, maybe a little bit of predictability, but they just executed the plays very well. So if it's gonna be like this every week, they'll be in every single game. You know what I mean? They'll be in every single game if Jalen plays like this. If Jalen plays like this, and on the other side of the ball, they're playing like that, they're in every game. So,
I'd argue that he doesn't need to have a 77% completion rate every single game. He needs to stay in that like 60, 70 range. And this offense, the way that they were balanced yesterday, and credits to Nick Sirianni for having a balanced offense. I mean, you look at the stats, it was basically 50-50 as far as run and pass, which is something that you would like to see in the NFL. He doesn't have to be at 77. He can be in that 60-70 range, and this offense is they're going to be competitive, and they're going to be in the games because you have weapons like Devontae who can open up opportunities for Jalen Rager, for Quez, for Goddard and Ertz. You also have the reliability of Devontae as far as like, okay, well, if the other people aren't open, Devontae's probably going to be open. I mean, you throw it out to Devontae, he's going to figure out a way to catch it, or he's going to knock it out of the way of the defender. That is just who he is. That's kind of the receiver, the player that he has been throughout his career, and I don't see that changing with the Philadelphia Eagles. I actually see that improving throughout the season, him becoming a smarter, whether to catch the ball, whether to defend the ball properly, and really helping out his other receivers on the team. But Jalen, I mean, if you were critical of his accuracy last year, I mean, I don't know how you really can be this time. I mean, 77%, that's
above average. That's way above average.
That's way above.
Actually, I know you said Jalen doesn't need to be in the 77%, but we wouldn't mind that, and he'd probably be the best quarterback in football.
I don't mind that. I would not mind that at all. I really wouldn't.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers led the NFL last year with 71%. I mean, if Hurts wants to lead the league in like 80%, I'm totally fine with that.
I mean, hey man, that's bold. 8% completion rate. That's bold. I mean,
that's like record right there. I think I don't know
quite a sight to see, especially with some of the offense, some of the defenses Jalen will be going against this season. However, I mean, hey, I'd be down to see it. I'd like to see it.
I'm more than down to see
but
it.
yeah, Jalen really answered a lot of the questions that were around him going into the season. Now, the next step for him against San Francisco at home for the home opener is for him to continue to improve. You can't just have this one performance and then just be like quietly mediocre for the rest of the season.
Right.
You have to continue to show that you are the leader because, quite frankly, you have one bad performance, Jalen. They're going to be calling for Joe Flacco. I'm just going to say it now.
Nah, we ain't going there yet. I don't know. It hurts.
They're going to be calling. Oh, listen, you say you don't want to go there, but I'll go there. I have no shame
Minshew. They're not calling for Flacco. They'll be calling for Minshew.
No.
Look, why are we even talking about this, man? Hurts was the MVP of this game. Smith played a hell of a game. Come on now, Ashlee.
Hurts was the MVP, and I want him to continue to show why he is the starter and why he's the leader for this team.
I love it, Ashlee. So thank you guys for watching. That was another episode of the Rent Check, and we'll see you next week after the San Francisco 49ers. Go Birds.